Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Honestly. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
And I'm Dr. Lindsay. And each week we are so honest, you wish that we would lie. And we share all of our issues. And this week we're also talking about our vacations. We're talking about Tom Brady, graduation commencement speeches, and nonsense purses.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's
your honestly good moment of the week?
I went to the wedding and I made a lot of people happy. A good friend of mine has been diagnosed with something, and my roommate asked if I would particularly spend time because this individual came solo. I was like, let's motherfucking go. This is what I put on the planet for. So we had a great time. I told him about one of my sexcapades over the years, and that had them rolling in there. And then the next day they were like, Chelsea, I have not laughed that hard. We were crying. We were like falling into each other's arms. So that was beautiful. My negative, honestly.
You don't even have to have a negative one.
Do I have one? No, it's not about me personally. We'll get to it a little bit later.
Okay. Let's see. I would say my honestly good moment of the week was that this vacation that I just went on was purely for scuba diving. Scuba. I said that really weird. And I didn't want to scuba dive. However, when my husband was getting certified, I was there to cheer him on and check it out. The dive master was saying, you can come back later and get certified. You're going to want to get certified once he tells you all the things that you saw down there. You can do it. We have time for you tomorrow. And then my family was saying, I just think you had a bad instructor. You know, you should do it here. You should finish up. You're going to want to do it. It's going to be so much better once you're in the ocean. You're going to want to do it. I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm good. No, thank you. And Austin was backing me up saying, no, it's not for her. She's good. So I thought maybe I would succumb to peer pressure after hearing this at least 10 times, but I really stuck to my guns.
Good.
And being in the water is not for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So I'm really happy I did not go scuba diving.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well done.
I know.
Okay, so what else?
Do you have any issues?
Do I have issues? I have an issue with the hypocrisy in society. Particularly, and we're going to talk about the roast, but so it was all dudes. Kevin Hart was the host. I'm assuming everybody knows this by now because it's been all over everything. But there was a bunch of dudes on the panel along with Nikki Glaser. Yep. Mm-hmm. Nikki Glaser, who also had her HBO live performance Saturday, May 11th. So this has been her month. Mm-hmm. Last month was Hannah. This month is Nikki Glaser. Okay, so Kevin Hart's introducing everyone. He's just talking about performance or just throwing. It's a roast. You're going to throw shade. But it wasn't personal per se, but necessarily like their actions or their performance, whatever. So he gets to Nikki and he's like, she's a whore.
That's the best you can come up with?
I was like, really?
That's literally every single female comic that they roast. If they're going to roast a female comic, she's a whore. She's got a big pussy. She is ugly. She, like cheap shots, low shots that are not really creative shots.
I'm just disappointed with society, like that you're still calling us whores. And I felt like the energy dropped out. Like I felt like it like bottomed out because I was just so disappointed. I was like, you're better than this, and this is all you think of us at this point.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're roasting, say something creative. You're better than that. So I was very disappointed. On a positive note, during Nikki's HBO special, she talks about rape.
Oh.
I was like, okay, because what I'm experiencing with my own stand-up is getting some feedback from dudes primarily when I try and broach the subject of rape in a comical way, right? That's what you do. If you're skilled enough that you can say something that just sheds light on a topic. And dudes are always like, I'm triggered. I was like, so if somebody else kicks the door open, I could just ride in on their coattails. Yeah. Yep. I was like, see? And then I was hoping that my comedic friends that I'm practicing with 3 days a week, I hope they see it because I'll be like, see, I told you I'm onto something.
Yes. And I heard her on another podcast. And when she was talking, the things that she said she was talking about, I was thinking, Chelsea needs to watch her because she's saying the same things that you're saying in a different way. And it's along the same lines of comedy and
I did watch her.
topics.
That's exactly what I did. There's nothing she didn't do that I haven't done. Well, obviously she's good and she's better.
Right.
So we'll say that. But the way in which she performs is the way in which there isn't like story, punchline, story, punchline. There is, but I wouldn't call it a punchline. It's just entertainment at that moment.
And you're also in the same age range.
Yeah. Yeah. She talks about not wanting kids. I was like, yep. She does represent a large part of the population. So even when Kim Kardashian at the roast got booed, I just feel like they don't treat women. It's like, oh, welcome to 2024, Chelsea. But I feel like they're not treating women the same way.
I don't even get why they were booing Kim Kardashian. Just because she was there?
Yeah.
She didn't even say anything and they booed her.
I know.
She said hi. I think she said, hey.
No, she came up on stage.
She came up on stage and she said, I know that a lot of people make fun of your height. And everyone's going, boo. She got one sentence out. She was leading up to the joke and everyone started booing her. I'm like, she did nothing. Let her speak. Let her live.
Yeah, no, society still thinks that they can control women, what they say, what they wear, their innards.
They think Kim Kardashian should just be something to look at and not spoken to, or she should not be speaking. She made a sex tape and that's all they see her for.
Not all the other things.
Right.
She dwarfs everyone in earnings.
Uh-huh.
But you don't talk about that. So yeah, I really struggle with that. What you wear.
And Nikki Glaser wears cute dresses. She wears
her body
sexy dresses. She's got banging body. So
no one's distracted by that.
No.
And if they are, they seem to like they're able to swallow it down. Anyway,
I know.
I was frustrated by that. Poor Tom Brady. I know they're like, oh, it's a roast. He went in. He knew. It's too soon to be roasting this poor kid.
Oh.
He didn't do anything wrong. I think when Netflix was like, here's a great opportunity to put him in light. The poor kid, I'm going to continue to defend him because he's still lost. And he hasn't found his way. I feel like the example is for astronauts that go to the moon, usually at a younger age. It's like, what else can I accomplish that's better than landing on the moon? And a lot of times they turn to alcohol because there's nothing to, like, they're hard workers. Tom Brady is number one, the most professional, most successful at a very hard industry. There's nothing harder than the NFL. I mean, there is, but it's definitely one of the most, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's difficult.
You're like 0.001%.
Right.
You're better than
Very
most of humanity.
elite.
And so there is nothing that this poor guy can't sink his teeth into that is going to challenge him the same way. We loved him for the little football soldier that he was, and now we just put him out to pasture a lot like our veterans. We're like, I don't know, good luck. Here's a roast. And they like kick his ass out the door. They're like, you're done.
See, I think that this was more of PR and a way to see him in a little bit of a different light.
Sure.
Because he's going to start broadcasting later in the NFL season.
Yeah.
So they have to break down the wall of him being this icon and this god and this untouchable person to being a sports broadcaster. So in the middle, let's make him a little bit more human.
It's called Saturday Night Live. That's what it's called.
But no, because he is not funny.
They can help him. You could be coached. You have good writers. He does his best. He shows a vulnerable side when he can't get the lines down. Nobody's funny, but everybody can be coached up on how to be funny. I don't think that was the right way, personally. I was disappointed that we trashed him so harshly.
I think, a Saturday Night Live is probably also in his future, but I think most of the roasting was done by NFL players, correct?
Yeah.
And lots of his peers. And he has to sign off on doing this.
He didn't sign off on his kids, Giselle.
No. Well, they didn't talk about his kids.
Yes, they did. You don't know.
They talked about Giselle a lot.
They talked about his kids.
The kids were the one thing off limits. That's what I heard.
It wasn't.
What did they say?
Why it's a good opportunity for you to be on the same page with the conversation.
I tried to watch it and Netflix wouldn't let me watch it.
You've been back.
No, seriously, I was trying to watch it on Netflix and it was like not available.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, you should watch it.
Once Netflix allows me to, I will definitely watch it.
But yeah, there were.
Oh, because Nikki Glaser was saying that
she chose not to write about the children.
Oh, gotcha.
She personally made it a point. And here you are. You have a woman who's demonstrating like grace. Said, I chose to honor these parameters.
Sure.
Dudes, they don't give a fuck who they offend. Everybody's fair game. Children. Okay, come on. Women.
Well,
in the spirit of it's a roast, they think they can get away with anything. And I just feel like the double standards of comedy is just kind of it really fires me up.
Also, this was a live roast, correct?
Yeah.
I do believe that when you do a roast that's not live, they will edit out the jokes that are inappropriate and below the belt. But this was a free-for-all and nothing got edited out.
It was sloppy. I thought it was a sloppy recording. It wasn't tight. Kevin Hart was just kind of all over the place. There are certain comedy shows with certain comics that are, if you have a white comic and a black comic, the experience is different.
Right. And
have you seen have you seen both a white comic and a black comic?
I've seen Kevin Hart. I watched his routine and then.
Well, how about live?
No.
Okay. If you've seen them live, it's a different, it's just a different experience. I don't know. I saw Cat Williams like twice as opposed to like Bill Burr. Bill Burr comes out. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a traditional performance. This one, I don't even know. It's like a shit show. There's it's just coming and going. It feels a little bit more of a circus, like friends are on stage and it's just kind of loosey-goosey until he gets out there. Mm-hmm. So you're like, what is this?
Well, traditionally on Comedy Central, when they have the roast, it's pre-recorded. So they keep it to an hour and a half, whatever the time is. How long was this? 3 hours long? Something like that?
Yeah.
If this was on TV edited, I bet you those jokes wouldn't even make the cut. And a lot of jokes probably wouldn't make the cut. But it was Slop City because it was live. Netflix needs to stop doing live things. It never turns out well. With the Love is Blind reunion that was supposed to be live, Netflix crashed. I can't watch the Tom Brady roast because Netflix says I can't stream it for some odd reason. Some things should just not be live.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. And I think that if Tom Brady has ever seen a roast, you know that people will do some low blows.
I don't think he should have done it. I don't think it was in his best interest from a PR standpoint. There's other ways to humanize yourself and be more relatable. And, he's already having a hard time accepting the fact that A, he had to retire. B, now he's like that announcer, which is like, I'm not. Just because I had to retire doesn't mean like I'm at this stage of my life. I think this is where like football players go to die.
It is, but he's still in the football world because
it's not enough. You're not a player. You're just like a talking head. You really have no street cred. It's just, I'm glad that he's still a part of it. But what he should do is try and like have ownership, try and buy in or something on a team.
He's trying to buy into the Raiders, I believe.
Yeah. And be more of a GM, something.
Right. In the meantime, he can do some announcing.
I just think it's sad. It's sad.
I mean, we did suggest that he should go into modeling. He could, being a sports broadcaster is kind of the last resort.
Yeah.
But also being a GM, you guys get a lot of hate for that too. Because if your team sucks, then it's your fault.
Well, he's used to having hate.
And also, just because you were the world's best quarterback doesn't mean you're a good GM.
Look at John Elway.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's okay. At least he's like on the sidelines. Rather than in the booth. Because when you're in the booth, you're just as far away, as far as removed as like a fan.
Or maybe what they're going to do, who's the one that interviews all the football players now? I don't know. Maybe he'll be more on the sidelines in the locker room, chit-chatting, like a little bit more relaxed interview instead of just stuck up in the booth all the time.
I just
And
want
also, I think the roast is a good way to see how he can handle all of this criticism, all these things thrown at you. Like, how is your sense of humor? How will you respond?
you don't have to have a sense of humor when you're announcing. All you just have to do is read the thing or just talk and
You,
keep talking and talk over each play
but
and
you
then
have to have
keep talking.
some kind of personality and
He's got
something.
enough. No, because Troy Aikman didn't. And he's just like a robot. You don't have to have a personality.
But people are expecting a personality from Tom Brady. Expectations are high.
Well, they should lower them. This is not the right move for him either.
No, it's not. And, maybe I think he's only really doing half a season. I don't even think he's coming in for the full thing. So I think he'll do it for a little bit and then go on to owning a team. And then by that point,
he just needs something he can sink his teeth into and be the absolute best at what he's doing. He should go into business.
Maybe he should start a flag football league.
There is that other
that arena football.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, that's for losers.
It's not. It's just for the people who can't get into the NFL.
Yeah.
A friend of mine is playing in that.
Oh, sorry. You're not a loser.
Carlo is.
Oh,
Carlo Kemp.
No, sorry, you're not a loser.
No, he's not.
No.
They're better than we are.
That's true. I never claimed to be a football player.
No.
Or good at it.
Yeah, no, me neither. Okay, so as it relates to Hollywood being hypocritical and just society not treating women the way that would equal even Steven, there is, who is it that spoke at the commencement?
Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs kicker?
Yeah, what's his name?
Okay, Harrison Butker.
Yeah.
He gave a commencement speech at Benedictine College, I believe it's called, in Kansas.
Yeah.
Woof. His PR is working overtime. Let me just tell you what he said. Okay. For the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now about to cross the stage and thinking all about the promotions and titles you're going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and your children that you will bring into this world. And then he said, I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, will be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and a mother.
Okay, but that is not the most controversial comment.
That's not?
No. The one that what does he say about the month? And he's like, I'm not talking about the Pride Month.
Oh.
The month of Pride.
He said the month of Pride is also a diabolical sin.
There was something else he said. He threw a side shade comment.
Oh, that's all I saw.
Okay.
And also that the most important title a woman could have is homemaker. Get back in the kitchen, ladies. You don't belong outside.
I don't know how to even respond to this.
Well, he was giving the speech at a very conservative Catholic school. So I guess that makes sense that his Catholic ways are coming out.
Okay, ready? This is the comment. Not the deadly sin sort of pride that has an entire month dedicated to it, but the God-centered pride that is cooperating with the Holy Ghost to glorify him.
I don't even know what that means.
He is saying, referred to pride, which celebrates the LGBTQ community, as a deadly sin. So I'm not talking about the deadly sin that...
Oh yeah, he said it was a deadly sin. Sorry, not diabolical sin.
It's not the point, but the point is that he referred to it the entire month dedicated to it. But I'm talking about the pride you'd have celebrating the God-centered and the Holy Ghost to glorify him.
I don't get the last part.
You're using your pride not to celebrate other individuals, but rather using that pride to celebrate God and the Holy Ghost.
Oh. Which is why he said Pride Month is a sin.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the deadly sins that relate to the pride of an entire month. The way in which he kind of just slipped it in.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He says it, and it's just yo, brother. But people are more concerned about the comment about pride. I also think it's pretty offensive to women.
Oh,
It shouldn't be a zero-sum game as to who's more offended, but he certainly was even Steven on that one.
He was even Steven on LGBTQ plus and women. Both. Yeah, no, he didn't like mince any words. I mean, he did talk more. He slipped in the Pride month being a sin and celebrating anyone of an alternative lifestyle as being a sin. So he slipped that one in, but he really made a point that women should just stay in the kitchen. And you'll make your man very successful if you are in the kitchen helping him out.
Yeah, I'm
Being a
sure
homemaker.
his wife loves being a homemaker to one of the most successful kickers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
If
If I had NFL money as a wife, sure, I'll stay home.
Sure, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it does sound amazing.
Sure.
And
How
I
many
bet I
kids do you
have
want?
nannies.
Uh-huh.
And I have probably a cook.
Uh-huh.
And I probably have an Amex card that's like, yes,
Yeah.
just don't
Okay.
bother me during the season.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh,
Bunch of bullshit.
they're so out of touch. Who are these people that are speaking to us? I was like, who do you represent?
Very conservative.
Mitch McConnell?
Rich white men.
Oh my God, why? And you want to take my IVF away?
I would
and
love
my
to
AIDS? Oh my gosh.
I would love to hear her response to what he said, because of course she's gonna be like, yeah, I love it. It's fucking awesome because we're rich and I can do whatever I want.
No,
'Cause
you'd
having
be
a
a
kid-
homemaker when you're broke.
I know. Yeah, trying to be a broke mom.
Oof.
That sounds miserable. You don't have a nanny. You don't have a chef. You don't have your free Amex card to do whatever you want with.
Right.
Uh-huh. Yeah, totally different scenarios.
It's such tone deaf bigotry.
Mm-hmm.
He's so misogynistic. I'm just like, you should be low key canceled.
So, you know, when Colin Kaepernick did the kneeling
Yeah.
and he got kicked out of the NFL?
Yeah.
Isn't this a kicking out of the NFL?
Well, I'm sure they don't think it is. They don't care about
Not
women.
We
I mean,
like to
do you
beat
know how
women. That's
they
their
are
tagline.
so okay with if you want to beat your boo, you do you.
You do you. We won't ask any questions. And if it does come out, we will bury that shit so deep that everyone will forget about
Oh,
it.
we sent him to classes and he's been penalized. You don't give a shit about women.
We fined him $1,000.
Oh, we make you wear pink for the month of March. Awesome.
Okay.
Oh, which is becoming a neutral color anyway. It's no. Oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated with society.
Do you think that the Chiefs will do anything?
I hope Taylor gets involved.
Oh, he did quote Taylor Swift.
So I hope she gets involved.
She's gonna, lay down the law. Do not use her words in a speech that is so anti-woman.
Yeah, so
and
she's our hope.
anti-pride.
She's our hope.
Yep. So this is the one time I'm like, come on, Taylor, do something.
We need you.
Yeah.
We need you more than now than ever.
Mm-hmm. So, but I'm sure nothing will happen because that's the way life goes.
We are a second class.
I know. Speaking of ladies, what did Pookie get lately?
She got some dumbass shit. She goes to Hermes and gets like this purse. It's like a little satchel thing.
It looks like a handkerchief made into a satchel.
Yeah,
Like
a
silk-
hobo. Remember
Yeah.
the old hobo?
Uh-huh.
Like little satchel they had on the end of a stick? I'm sure I'm not allowed to say that, but it's been long enough. It's been long enough, right?
I don't know what the correct term is besides hobo.
It's okay. It's funny now, right? It's like kitschy. So the hobo bag that's at the end of the stick that he's walking in. So that's what it's like. It's got to be a minimum of $4,000.
Minimum.
And then she gets this like dumbass tchotchke, like little keychain attachment that's like,
It's a horse.
yeah. And I'm like, what? I hope
To attach to your hobo bag.
you got to think they give it to her for free.
No. I don't think, no, they definitely don't.
Well, it's stupid. So just goes to prove that just because you may have money doesn't mean you'll make good choices. Which is good to know. I'll
Yeah.
still say, I'll still be me.
I'll still be me and I'll still make dumb decisions.
Dumb ass decisions. You know, honestly, one thing that I realized is I'm not living life to the fullest
Okay.
and I'm kind of dumb. Yeah. Like
Why?
the way I heard like my Caitlin and her friends, they're about 33, 34.
Mhm.
So these are my peers. They have so many life experiences, could speak to so many different things. They travel all the time. They're just filling up their days in such a way that I was like, I am not fully living.
Same.
Well, you choose not to fully live.
I don't really know what to do to fully live.
I don't either. I don't either. So I told Rochelle yesterday, and I was like, how do I fill out my days? She's like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I mean, if I had the budget to travel all the time, then I would just travel all the time.
I think we could. Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily have a budget to travel all the time, but I could probably start budgeting for a trip.
True.
Like, if I made that a priority,
Yeah.
I could do it.
No more buying stupid shit.
No more Starbucks.
No, keep getting the Starbucks.
I know. It's not going to make a difference.
No more clothes.
I don't really buy a lot of clothes. I did
no.
for the wedding.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll re-up with like a Zara $45 dress.
Sure.
I'm not respectfully, I don't think that's what's holding me back.
No. What do you think is?
I'm just not budgeting for it.
Oh.
Because I make the money.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't have anyone to go with. I don't know where I should go. They're going everywhere.
True. They're millennials. They want experiences.
Or they just haven't, they're dinks. Dual income, no kids.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they got enough money to do it. And they have these remote jobs where they can like work and go.
I know. That's the key. You need a remote job.
I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm not living a big enough life. Because I do have so much time and so many more, like so much energy within me that could still be like tapped and utilized.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm tapped out during the week, and then the weekends come and I'm like, I'm still kind of tired, but I got to go do something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else I want to do. I really don't like the outdoors that much. That puts a real damper on a lot of activities.
I don't know what you do all summer.
I like to lay by the pool.
Okay.
That's where you will find me.
Great.
Mm-hmm. But someone did tell me that I could go on a glamping backpacking experience where they will literally just drop you off at the tent that's glammed out and have food and electricity and all the things. And you actually don't even have to hike to get there. They just drop you off and you sleep there for a night and then go home. I'm like, maybe. But also, this is the thing about glamping and camping. I'm paying to be inconvenienced. And I have a hard time with that. So I don't see that in my future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we didn't get a word in from our sponsors, so let's just give them a quick shout out to 3 Spirit, our favorite sponsor. So want to be the life of the party and then wind it down with a Sleeping Beauty. The pre and post party sampler from 3 Spirit has got you covered. Kickstart your night with Livener and wind things down with a slow sippy nightcap. Designed to enhance your night from start to finish by stimulating your palate, mind, and body. It's made of active plants. It's non-alcoholic. There's clean caffeine and caffeine-free, vegan, and gluten-free. So visit us.3spiritsdrinks.com and use code HONESTLY15 for 15% off your entire order. That reminds me, I have to work on my shroom dosage so that I can have a good time. Okay, so make sure that you share this episode with your besties and rate, review, subscribe. Give us 5 stars wherever you listen to this podcast, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at The Honestly Show, TikTok, YouTube, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.